Call to order. A2, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will now do a 30-second moment of silence. Thank you. A3, adoption of the agenda. Are there any consent agenda items that a board member would like to have discussed as an action item? Hearing none, do I have a motion that the governing board adopt the meeting agenda?
I move that we adopt the meeting agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Oropesa. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Moving to B, presentation, B1, Choice Learning Academy.
Hi, I'm Steve Watson, the Maricopa County School Superintendent, and thank you for joining me for Where's Watson? And today we're visiting Choice Learning Academy in the Alhambra Elementary School District. And more specifically, we're visiting their Entrepreneur Academy. And here, they're developing assistive technology to help kids with physical disabilities. And they're using their creativity in a variety of ways, through Arduino technology, through 3D production, and they're using the engineering design process, but with a little bit of a tweak. They're calling it the invention process, because they're actually taking these products to market. Let's go check it out.
The intent behind the Entrepreneur Academy is to allow students to understand the entire business process, so from beginning to end. So students will take product innovation all the way through marketing, business design, and how to run their own business, and even go through practices of what it takes to apply for patents to be able to ensure that their products can make it to market in the future. So our goal here is to have students leaving our campus, leaving Choice Learning Academy, knowing what it takes to be an entrepreneur and hopefully see some of their products in market in the future.
We are an academy school and we're the business academy. So the current unit that we're on is product design. And specifically, we're working on product design for biomedical engineering. We have two different projects inside that unit. The first project is we took an Arduino, which is an open-ended coding kit, and we coded it with a proximity sensor to help the blind community, and specifically also a girl that we know who is blind. So we were able to create a proximity sensor for her so that she doesn't have to use just her long white stick, because in this day and age, I feel like there's so much technology out there and we can do so much better. So when I was growing up, most of the STEM kits that we had were really kits that did one thing. And the beauty of the Arduino kit is it's open-ended and it's open source too. So you can take any of the sensors that are inside the kit and you program them to do a variety of different things. So you can do true inventions, you can solve real-world problems and make really many scientific discoveries with them. And our second project was to create Marvel-themed prosthetics for a kid that we know that was born without his hand. We're part of the Enable community, which is an online hub with everyone all over the world that puts their name in that would like a 3D printed prosthetic. And that is where we went and we pulled Christian's name. So they created Marvel characters for him because he's obsessed with Marvel and we wanted to take care of him and give him something that he could wear around and be proud of. When I moved to Arizona 3 years ago, I didn't have many resources, but within 3 years, I've been able to build really rapidly because there's so many different grants out there. And I think people are a little scared of writing grants sometimes, but It's actually the best thing for you and your kids in your classroom. So I was able to completely make my own makerspace, which we call the Millionaire's Playground because we're business. And we have all the tools at our fingertips that we need for all these projects. For example, the 3D printers that you see behind me, we got those from the State Farm grant. And because of that, we were able to print the biggest piece that we needed, which was a forearm for the prosthetic.
The development of our academy program here is really to motivate students to make it to school and become interested. Our goal is really to create and ignite that fire, that love of learning that students and all of us have inside of us by creating these classes that are very fun and hands-on and really meet students where their interests are and leverage that to get them onto campus and use those skills that they learn as they work through projects in their core content classes.
My students are excited to come to school every day because not only are they working on a project that gives them these really good skills, but at the same time, it's inspiring. They know that the products that they are producing help many people, not just Christian and Sonoy, but they can make an impact on others in the community and others around the world. And that alone makes the whole project so much better than just coming to class and trying to do something for a grade.
As some may know, I work for a medical device company. That was very inspiring. This process that we just saw is a process that is actively used in medical devices today. A yearly, almost the same step-by-step process that our students are learning is directly applicable to real-world learning. The opportunities that we give to students like that, that's absolutely incredible. I think that'll speak to, I hope it speaks to students, I hope it speaks to parents, that we offer these types of opportunities. And these are real world exercises that can carry for the rest of their life. And so that was very encouraging to me. And I hope to see devices from these students for my company in the future.
I happened to be allowed to go to California when we researched and learned about project-based learning. Being a preschool teacher, I am very much of a constructivist as far as learning goes, and I was impressed by what we saw there. I'm impressed by what we see here at Choice Learning Academy. I do believe that learning has to be meaningful, and by doing project-based learning, such as these medical devices, and I've seen them do lots of other things, that does make learning real. It connects it to what they need to do. I just hope we can grow that program so that it is more widely acceptable. More people, accepted isn't the word, so more people are aware that it's there and will come and take advantage of it. Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay. I'm moving to C, information item. C1, financial report. The financial report is available to you in your board packet. Moving to D, public comment. There is no public comment today. Moving to E, consent agenda. I call for a motion that the governing board approve the consent agenda items E1 through E16.
I move that we adopt the consent agenda items E1 through 6 through 16.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We'd like to now invite up Mr. Mark LaLiberty. I always get your last name wrong.
Thank you, President Conchas, Governing Board, and Superintendent Dr. Maez. As a result of your approval of the consent agenda items, it brings me very great pleasure to introduce to you our newest outreach coordinator, Mr. Scott Lindsay. Mr. Lindsay will be joining the Granada East campus as of the upcoming 23-24 school year. Mr. Lindsay brings years of valuable experience with him to the Alhambra Elementary School District. And most recently, Mr. Lindsay is serving as an assistant principal of an elementary school in a neighboring district. He brings over 7 years of experience in administration in education, as well as 11 years of teaching experience where he's taught classes such as social studies, advanced placement classes, the International Baccalaureate classes, and even middle year International Baccalaureate classes. We are very pleased to have Mr. Lindsay with us.
Good evening, President Conchas, Governing Board members, and Superintendent Dr. Maez. I'd first like to say how grateful I am for the opportunity to join the Alhambra family. Thank you very much. I look forward to working with the team at Granada East and alongside Principal Mitchell. I'm a lifelong Phoenix resident. So I'm trying to pronounce the name right. Mr. La Alberte said, I have spent 18 years in education. My first 11 as a classroom teacher at the elementary, middle school, and high school levels. My last 7 as an administrator at the elementary and the middle school levels. I'm very impressed by Alhambra's commitment to equity and student social emotional learning, also data-based instruction. And as I said, I'm very excited for the 23-24 school year. I know it's months away, but I'm already eager to start the work and working alongside all of you. Thank you.
Welcome. I've known him since he was 12 years old. So I am pleased to have you in our district. His parents are both lifelong educators. Well, I can't wait to get over there and see you in action.
Bienvenidos a la familia Alhambra. Welcome. We will move to F, Business Services, F1, 2022-2023 Revised Expenditure Budget. Mr. Huesman.
Thank you, President Conchas, members of the board, Dr. Maez. The main purpose of the agenda item this evening is to revise our 22-23 annual budget pursuant to ARS Section 15905. The budget revision is a result of adjustments to our average daily membership, budget balance carry forward, and ADE adjustments since our July adopted budget. If you can see the screen up there, which you have right in front of you, at this time our maintenance and operation budget will increase by $6,054,441. This is a result of an increase of over $4.3 million due to a change in our budget balance carry forward, a decrease of over $47,000 due to an adjustment in our Proposition 123 funding from the state, an increase of over $1.8 million due to changes in our average daily membership since our budget adoption, and a decrease of over $32,000 due to a change in the estimate of our M&O override. The revised M&O budget total is $84,864,792. Our capital budget is also increasing by $2,582,640. This is a result of an increase of over $2.5 million, as you can see on the screen, due to a change in our budget balance carry forward, an increase of $2,295 due to average daily membership changes, and an increase of $8,658 due to changes in interest received in fiscal year 22. So the revised capital budget total is $15,846,605. Specific portions of the expenditure budget impacted for maintenance and operation. The amounts are reflected, the $6,054,441 in additional budget capacity. It's reflected in the benefits column on line 1 and the salaries column on the K-3 reading program line 29 of page 1 of 8. And also the unrestricted capital budget increasing by $2,582,640. That's reflected in the library books column on line 2 and the all other objects code column on line 8, both on page 4 of 8. In addition to revisions to M&O and capital, the classroom site fund on page 3 was also revised. The classroom site fund budget increased by $544,760 due to an increase in budget balance carry forward and adjustments in ADM since our budget adoption. This accounts for the revisions to M&O, capital, and classroom site fund, and subject to your questions, that concludes this portion of the meeting.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I just have comments. Thank you once again for doing such great work. I mean, I can't even balance my checkbook on a good day, so how you keep all these straight is beyond me. And you do such a great job of it. And it's a testament to how you prepare your budget forecasts that we actually got more money in some areas. Especially, I was pleased to see that our ADM adjustments brought in money. So thank you for your forecasting and for your hard work, and tell your team thank you as well.
Thank you.
My questions are about the ADM adjustment. Those are positive, right? And so could you talk a little bit more about that? Because I know that we've seen negative trends in past years, if that's correct.
That is correct. We have had declining enrollment over the last decade. We forecast the budget, as Ms. Diocampo alluded to, that is more conservative, meaning that we forecast a greater decline in enrollment than we hopefully are anticipating. So for our budget adoption, we anticipated about a 3% ADM decline from the fiscal year 21-22. And our current ADM is closer to 1.5–2% decline. So that's the main reason that we're adding average daily membership dollars is due to that. The state also added funding for free and reduced lunch students. It's a new weight that they added that we got about $670,000 from. So that's another reason for an ADM adjustment. So those two are the main factors of why we're adjusting our ADM numbers upward by about $1.8 million.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad I asked that question because it's important for me to know that there is like that 1.5 to 2% decline, rather than me thinking, oh, we're in the positive, which is not the case. So,
Okay.
Thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Usman. I call for a motion that the governing board approve the revisions and adjustments to the 2022-2023 Alhambra School District number 68 expenditure budget.
I move that we approve the revisions and adjustments to the 2022-2023 Alhambra School District number 68 expenditure budget.
Thank you, Mr. Oropesa. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Navarez. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Moving to G, new business. G1, 8th grade promotion assignments. As you can see, there are in your board packet. I won't go through all of them, but it's an exciting time. 8th grade promotions are always an exciting time of the year. We'll go to H, comments and communications. H1, comments from governing board members.
I see Tanner in the audience. I had the pleasure this week of going and visiting the committees that were working on the math textbooks adoption. Oh my gosh, we have incredible people out there that are going through those textbooks with such detail, looking at the standards, looking at the layout of the pages, looking at how much print is on a page, looking at how much space there is for the students to do the work that they're being asked to do. These teachers that were in there when I was in there were just working so diligently to make sure that we will get a recommendation of a very appropriate and affordable math textbook.
Hearing none, we'll go to H2, Governing Board Direction and/or Agenda Item Request. Here.
I was prepared to come and ask for an update on how we were doing with project learning. But I got it. You've been asking. So, no, I don't have anything to ask for.
Great. We'll go to H3, comments from superintendent and executive team.
Good evening, everyone. This evening, Ms. Solana Ragland and Ms. Claire Perry are both out of state at a conference, learning how we can continue to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion within our district. And so this evening, we will begin our comments or updates from Mr. Reese.
Good evening, President Conchas, governing board members, Superintendent Mayes, and our wonderful Alhambra community. I've got a couple updates that I'd love to share with you. I'm very excited to share. In fact, a couple board meetings ago, it was through your approval, there is the travel for our students who are going to go down to Oracle to participate in the Biosphere visit. And this is a wonderful extension of the work that's happening on their campuses now. Sevilla West, Barcelona, Catalina, and Gap are all working currently through a partnership with ASU through Solar Project and a lot of sustainability work that they're doing, STEM-related work. And they get to go participate in this at a much larger scaled version at this man-made wonder of the world, right? Biosphere is pretty awesome. And so our students really get to participate in that, and they're going to have some real great fun. And thank you to the staff members and Tanner for support of that effort. I also want to share with you that yesterday we put out a posting for our collaborative team leads throughout the district, and this will afford staff members to really continue to push the needle in our collaborative efforts as we work toward becoming a strong professional learning community. And we have extended those lead opportunities for some additional positions as well, so it comes with a $6,000 stipend to really serve as a catalyst to catapult us toward this work of strong collaborative planning and instruction. Want to also share that we are exploring an opportunity for our primary teachers throughout the district to pay for all teachers to have an opportunity to participate in dyslexia training. I know that currently that's been afforded to a small number of people per site, but we are in the process of really looking how we might extend that offer to really include additional teachers. It's going to take some work to figure that out, but I wanted to share with you that that's something we're thinking about. And as you all may know, 2028 comes with an expectation that all teachers have a reading endorsement, and this would actually help toward that effort and really invest in our teachers and our literacy efforts. And I saved the best one for last because this one is really exciting. A couple of weeks ago, you all heard the presentation of our gifted testing efforts, and it was shared with you from Kira Thomas that we were going to begin with a blanket testing of all of our second graders. So, schools throughout the state have begun this work, and I'm here to report to you tonight that we have about 75% of our second grade students have completed this testing. But what's even more cool than that is we have identified 51 second grade students who qualify for gifted education. So from those efforts, we really are excited that our gifted education programming is going to continue to expand, and we have no shortage of gifted students in our district, and that will continue to capture more and more students as the years go on. So happy to really celebrate that with you all tonight. Thank you.
Sorry, yes, Ms. Gonzalez, thank you.
Yes, thank you, President Conchas, governing board members, and Superintendent Dr. Mayes. So I'm going to celebrate 3 different schools tonight. I'd like to start with Cordova Elementary School. They love their parent volunteers, and this is Parent Volunteer Coordinator Month. And so I hope I'm not spoiling any surprises, but the kids are planning some wonderful ways to recognize the parent volunteers. And I might just leave it at that, but just know that they recognize the value that these parents bring into the school each day, the love that they give, and all of the different things that they do, setting up the bulletin boards, making copies, laminating, helping with special projects, but they're giving so much more than just these tasks, and the community of the students recognizes that. So a beautiful celebration there. At James W. Rice School, they hosted their Spring Fling. It's the month of Spring Flings, and theirs was about hands-on activities. But the kids were learning really important concepts, like how to turn a circle into probability, converting fractions, decimals. So still a lot of educational value with that. The games that they played are the games that the parents can play with them over the summer. So everything, I mean, these games involved marshmallows and spaghetti. So things that they may have in the house, but that they can use to be creative, that are aligned to STEM, and keep the kids very engaged while it's very hot outside and they're home for the summer, after summer school. They also had the Phoenix Library out there and had many kids sign up for library cards. So another wonderful activity to get books in hands of students. And Madrid is doing some pretty cool stuff, innovative with technology. They are taking gaming to a whole new level. They participated in a project with City of Phoenix and ASU. And so it involved playing video games, which inspired our kids to start designing their own video games. They are designing 3D printing and supplies that they need for their video games, and their goal is to ultimately sell them. So they're going to be going on a field trip to a social network television studio, so they know what all goes into video production, and then they want to build a marketing campaign, Mr. Gamino, and their hope is to be the next Shark Tank participants. So good luck to our Madrid scholars.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez and Ms. Bellew.
Thank you, President Conchas, members of the board, and Superintendent Dr. Mayes. I have 3 updates for you from the following departments: Child Nutrition, Facilities and Maintenance, and Business. So first off, from Child Nutrition, ADE is really noticing the great work of our Child Nutrition Department. And our Child Nutrition Department recently completed a 3-year ADE administrative review, which involves physical inspection of hundreds of records and documents. So we're super proud to report that we had 0 fiscal action findings and 0 errors. So sending a shout out to Laura Gasca Gutierrez. She's our Child Nutrition Payroll Revenue Clerk, and Bridget Colosso, she's our Child Nutrition Procurement Supervisor, because without their attention to detail, these results would not be possible. So big shout out to the team, but Brianne really wanted those 2 highlighted. Also, ADE recently asked Brianne Ross and Elizabeth Biggs to present for their monthly Uplift webinar about how Alhambra is serving culturally relevant school meals and expanding our lunch offerings. So in your next board member bulletin, look for a link for that so you can see the amazing presentation they shared. Secondly, from our Facilities and Maintenance Department, we have our certificate of occupancy for the Valencia Gap Gym, so we can move forward. I know. Woo! We can move forward with the May 10th ribbon cutting. So I know that Gabriel and Matt Shields are working on that. And just a reminder that I'm sure your calendars are marked for the May 1st JWR ribbon cutting ceremony. Also, thanks to a little bit of input from one of you, we have conducted a district-wide bleacher and player bench assessment, and the team is working to provide seating for campuses in need. So finally, from our business department, our classroom furniture committee, consisting of teachers, classified staff, school and district administration, have been meeting to identify district-wide furniture needs as we craft our plans for future furniture replacements over the next few years. This week, actually today, the committee enjoyed examining innovative classroom furniture samples courtesy of one of our district vendors. And at future meetings, the committee will continue to consider options and will make recommendations to the superintendent's cabinet and school principals. Any recommendations and implementation plans will be brought forward to you for consideration and approval. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bellew. As far as my own updates, I would just, well, first I'd like to welcome Mr. Lindsay to our team, and I look forward to getting to know you as you support and lead alongside Mr. Mitchell. So thank you and welcome. And just some highlights from this week. I know as I'm looking out in the audience, I see Lynette, and today as I shared with Principal Lynette that I visited our campus, and it was so neat to see around our schools right now, kids, 8th graders are excited for promotion. And I appreciate that Lynette organized an opportunity for our kids to take pictures, their promotion pictures. They not only got to take individual pictures, but they were excited to take whole group pictures and friends pictures. And Lynette, I know you probably don't want me saying this, but too bad. We have such amazing leaders that I was sharing with her, well, how are the kids? I wanted to make sure the kids are having access to the pictures. And she said, yep, that she's the one the photographer today is going. I know I'm hoping I'm not blowing a secret or anything, but she's actually printing and making sure all of our kids at Valencia get pictures to take home with their families. And so thank you, Lynette, for being so amazing to our kids. Sorry. But again, I know we have such caring people in our community, and it just warms my heart. And they also had, the kids were talking about their recent visit. Yesterday, they visited Alhambra High School, and some of the students there were saying how they were from Cuba, and that the schools there are so small. And they went to Alhambra High School yesterday, and they couldn't believe how huge the high school is. And so I was just so grateful to know that that they were able to go and explore and received extra support as they look forward to transitioning to high school. And so again, great things going on around around the district. And I'm looking at the audience and want to thank our association. So I appreciate that I just concluded a meeting with them where they shared, I appreciate that they keep me in the know. And so we were able to problem solve and just make sure that we're all on the same page with what's going on throughout the district. And I appreciate your support and advocacy for our staff. And I look forward to, I've got a long list. And so I look forward to continuing to work together to ensure that everyone is thriving as we serve our community. And with that, testing continues around the district, and I just want to thank everyone for their efforts in support of state testing. We're almost to the conclusion of that, and again, everyone's working hard and doing great things, and I just appreciate you all. So thank you, and have a great night.
We're going to I1, next governing board meeting is May 18th, 2023. And then the next one is the calendar of events, which is I2. You can see that there's James W. Rice Sports Field ribbon cutting on May 1st. And on May 10th, there's Valencia and Gap Gymnasium ribbon cutting. And then there's a lot of other really important events on this calendar in between. I'm not going to go through all of them right now. And then we'll go to I3, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.